To make a chicken and vegetable soup, we're going to start off by preparing all the vegetables. It's up to you what you add in. I'm going to use an onion, a small leek, a carrot and some mushrooms. I'm not using celery because I needed to use up mushrooms. So it's quite flexible, you can add in whatever you like. This soup isn't going to be blended, so it's quite important that you cut everything nice and finely. So we started off by halving and peeling the onion. Make sure you've got none of the peel in the way. Then going to cut down, leaving it attached at the root. And then slice across. The closer your cuts are, the finer your finished chopped onion will be. So once you've done that, you would then repeat with the other half of the onion. I've put the chopped onion in a basin just to keep it out of the way for the moment. And next I'm going to move on to dicing a carrot. So the first thing I'm going to do is to square it off so that it stops rolling around. I'm then going to cut it in half because it's a bit big to handle in one go. Cut thin slices off it. Again, the thinner you slice them, the smaller your pieces will be that go into the soup. Then I'm going to cut it into small sticks and fine dice those. So that's the sort of size you're looking for. You repeat with the rest of the carrot. When you finish, the chopped carrot goes in with the onion and you're now ready to move on to the leek. So I've got half a leek. I've already taken off the dirty end. I've split it that way. I'm now going to split it again because they're quite big circles otherwise. And I'm going to again slice it so it's quite small pieces. When you're cutting a leek, you need to just check there's no earth that's gone in between the layers. So split it, wash it under the cold tap. They go in the bowl with the other veg. Once those veg are prepared, I've melted some butter in a medium-sized saucepan ready to cook those, and I'm going to put those in to cook before preparing my mushrooms. I'm just going to give them a stir with a wooden spoon, and they'll cook down for probably about 5 minutes to get a bit of colour on them. If I put the mushrooms in now, they'll give out too much water and they just boil the rest of the vegetables. To prepare the mushrooms, they're quite big, so I'm going to slice across them and then turn them and slice across the other way. They will also shrink, so they'll become quite small in the soup. So I'm going to repeat and put those all in the basin, ready to wait until the veg is cooked. After about 5 minutes, the veg is starting to brown. You can see it through the steam. And I'm now going to add in the mushrooms. As I said, they're going to give out quite a lot of liquid, so it will cool the pan down and it will take a few more minutes to cook those out. They will shrink a lot and look quite different when they are cooked. So once the mushrooms have shrunk and cooked and all the liquid is gone, you are then ready to add in the flour. The more you can cook the veg, the more flavour is going to develop. So I've got a tablespoon of flour ready in a small bowl, and you're going to mix it through and cook it out before you add in the stock. That's going to help with thickening. And then I'm going to put about a quarter of the stock in, and that's just a pint of boiling water, 1 stock cube. Give that a mix, and then I'm going to put the rest in. You may need a little more water. I'm going to wait and see the final soup thickness. This now needs to come to the boil, turn down to a simmer, put the lid on and leave it for 10 minutes or longer if you've got it. If you don't have a lid, you could put some foil across the top of it and weigh it down with a wooden spoon. While the soup's cooking, I'm now going to chop up my ready cooked chicken on a yellow board, of course. Now, totally up to you if you want to shred it or just chop it up small. Doesn't really matter. Obviously, you could just leave it as vegetable soup. That's the other option. This will go in as late as possible because it's cooked and just needs to warm through. Put the chicken onto a plate or back into the basin that you use for your veg so that you can wash your chopping board and clean up while the soup cooks. You'll probably need to season your soup with a little salt and pepper. Taste it before you add too much salt. I'm also going to put in some dried thyme. So it's about a teaspoon. Fresh thyme is even nicer. Again, that's optional. It's totally up to you if you want to add anything to it. And once that's cooked out enough, the chicken just gets added. Give it a stir. As you can see now, it's getting quite thick. If you wanted to water it down, you can. That's probably easier to do when you're reheating it. So I'm going to leave that cook for another 5 minutes. To test that your soup is fully cooked, the veg I would be checking on would be the carrot. So you can fish out a chunk and either squeeze it to see it's cooked or eat it to see if it's soft enough. And that's it.